Oh, there's a monster on there too. Look at the size of that thing.
That is yellow belly, is it?
Look at the size of him. It's an absolute beautiful morning out here. Check out where I am. Look at this. Sitting just over here on the stump, there's a magpie goose. Beautiful swampy area, 365-degree view. Got a flooded swamp here with gum trees all through it, water plants. I don't know whether I've seen a better looking spot. There's got to be yabbies in here for sure. It's reasonably shallow where I am at the moment. It's not even a paddle deep, which I know is probably deep enough. So what we'll do, I'll throw these 2 traps in, and after that I've got some lines here, or I'll use a line, just a hand line, and have a hunt around and see if we can find a hot spot for us. And I've decided on this little stump here. It's sort of out in the middle. We've got some water reeds there, a bit of timber behind us, sort of a eddy area all up through here. And I've had a measure, it's probably about 2 foot deep. So there's trap number 1. Nice looking spot. So for the second trap, I've decided on this spot. It's a way up in the backwaters. I've come right up around in the backwaters. That other trap's a good 100 meters back up around the way. And it's actually pretty deep here. It's probably 4 to 5 foot. I've put the paddle down and it's gone well over halfway up the paddle. And we have a fairly steep bank along this side. We have reeds all through the water here. We've got timber, water plants out in the water, and this is sort of a deep channel that runs through here. And I might even go for a swim later if I don't see any crocodiles. So I reckon this is probably a prime spot. We'll put this trap out and we'll leave the traps for a good hour and we'll go and throw a line in and see how we go. And that's trap number 2 going in. It's pretty well right in the middle of the channel. And I'll go and find some shade somewhere and we'll set up and throw a line in. So I've got my line set up and I've just gone just a bit of meat tied onto a fishing line, and we haven't come very far at all. I'll give you a bit of a look. That second trap's right there. It gets deep in this channel, and then back over here where I am, it's fairly shallow. It's probably only about a foot deep there, but what I'm thinking is we'll throw the line out here just for a little while and just see whether there's anything in the area. It'll give me a good indication whether that trap's going to do any good. And I reckon we'll just put the line out right about there, out a few meters. Well, that didn't take too long at all. That line's having a fair old pull. He feels reasonably decent, but I've got that line a long way out. I probably shouldn't be throwing it out so far. I just thought it might have been a bit too shallow right in close here. And I brought me little short net. We'll have a... He's holding on fairly well anyway, whatever it is. Medium size. We'll get this line back out. I'll just move it a bit. We'll put it out there. I'll have a look at him. No eggs, not a massive yabby. I'm thinking we might just keep that one just as insurance. And as we get some bigger ones, we'll let her go. And it's only been about a minute and a half and that line is going off again. I'll give you a look. It's actually, it was really loose, now it's tight. Oh, that one feels a bit better actually. I'll put you up here. Put you up on the head mount so I've got both hands. I don't know whether that's caught around it might have been caught around a reed or something. That felt like a bloody monster. But I think he was just caught in a reed. We'll pull him in and have a look. Oh, I've got this line a bit longer than what I thought it was too. Oh, he's having a bit of a pull, wanting to get away there now. He's probably seen the net. Oh yeah. Oh, there's actually two on there. That's why he felt big. I'll throw the net back out that way, because if I'm throwing it out this way, I've got to bend around too far. There's actually two on there. We'll have a bit of a look. Again, not two monsters. Oh, look out. No eggs. Not real big, but nice and clean, so we'll take them. And I haven't even turned that camera off. I'll probably edit out the bit that I put it on my head, but I actually haven't turned the camera off yet. And there feels like something decent on here. I don't know. These water plants are a bit deceiving, because they can get caught around the water plants, but this one does feel better. It could be another two, I'd say. If it's one, he's going to be a bloody good one. Oh no, there's a few on there. Three. How about that? Three. They're not monsters, but they're not small yabbies either. They're a lot bigger than bait and nice and clean. Well, that sort of gives me a good indication. That trap's only just over there. I think that trap's going to be loaded when we pull it in. I will give that trap another hour. And what I might do, we got one on the first line, then we got two on the second check and three. So hopefully next time we'll get four. Well, they're definitely here. What I'm going to do, I've literally been here for 10 minutes and we got what? We got 3, 2, 1, that's 6. We got 7 yabbies already. This line's going to keep going off, but I'm close to that trap. So what I'm thinking is we might go for a bit of an explore around and try somewhere else. See if we can find where the monsters are hiding. It's fairly deep just here. And there's some nice water plants around. And I was going to paddle into this little half island looking area with some reeds and that around, but have a look up there. There's a heap of baby, I'm not even too sure what they are. That's the mother over there yonder. I think it might be some sort of stork or crane, but there's 3 babies up there and they're the size of bloody chickens already. They're all trying to sit still, pretending that I can't see them, but I'll go and find another spot. I don't want to disturb the baby chicks up there. I was just over there where their baby chicks were, and I've come around this island up into this area, and have a look at this. There's another nest up there. Where are we? I'm sure you can see them, but there's actually 4. There's 3 standing up there being really still, and there's another smaller one sitting down. And there's another nest over there actually, but there's no chicks in it. So for the mother to raise 4 of them big birds, she must be getting plenty of feed in here, or yabbies I'd say. And I was going to sit in this timbered area. I might go over the back of it there, get away from these chicks a little bit. So I've come around to this back of this timber area, and it's actually really shallow. I'll give you a look. That's me paddle. It's not even as deep as the white part on the paddle, so probably 10 inches at the most. And just for a bit of an experiment, I'm going to throw the line out here and see what's hanging about in this shallow water. That didn't take too long. I originally threw the line out on this side and I grabbed my net, and it's really awkward, so I only had it out there for probably 30 seconds and I've thrown it out here, and it's probably only been about 2 minutes, I guess, and we've definitely got something on there. We'll get him in and see what we got. He feels fairly decent. Got you that time. Not a bad little yabby. Definitely not the monster that I was after. But we'll put him in the bucket. So I've actually come back and we're going to have one more check of the line. and then we're going to pull these traps and we're going to move them right up around the other side of the swamp. And I've got a little experiment going here with this line. Now we'll just have a quick look. Have one more check of the line here. And this is where I was getting 3 yabbies with one go of the line. And I just want to take my time because it feels like there's something bloody big on here. I should check that camera and make sure I've got you in frame for this one. Hopefully you are. And I want to get down deep. It's actually pretty deep here. It's probably, oh well, 2 foot, I reckon. Pretty deep for the swamp. Oh, there's a monster on there too. Oh my goodness me. That worked. 5 yabbies. 5 in one pull. I thought that'd work. I was going to leave it a bit longer. 5 yabbies and 1 pull of the line. How's that? I'll show you the little trick that I come up with. There's probably another one on here already. Look what I done. And this is the little trick that I come up with. I put 3 bits of meat. It's probably cheating, I know, but and I just strung them out a little bit. But it worked. 5 yabbies, 1 line. And a couple of good ones in there. Here's a nice one. Take him. Another nice one. Yeah, we'll take him too. And these ones in here, they are nice yabbies, but I'm starting to get a few now. So we'll let them go. And I've tried to come into this trap as stealthily as possible. As possible as I can be anyway in a kayak. I'm not the most elegant person. And the traps come around right under the kayak. There we go. Felt like one on the rope then. Look at this. Oh, one just crawled in the trap as I was pulling it up. And not a lot in the trap. Not as many as what I thought there'd be after getting them all on the lines, only just over there. I probably should have had the trap set over there. There's probably only one that I really want to keep out of this trap. We'll have a look at him. Just rolling up on the second trap. I'll try and come in as stealthily as possible. I'll get myself positioned nicely to set the trap up there without losing my paddle. Oh dear God, that one's loaded. Oh my God, I found the sweet spot there, I think. Gee whiz. There'd be a good 20 yabbies in that trap. I think that's the bloody spot. Up through this timber. There's a heap of dead timber up through here. And it's right out in the middle too, where people can actually walk along this bank and set traps. So I think coming out in the middle is probably the go, and it's probably the place to sit with the line too, but that sun's getting a bit too hot. I need something with a bit of shade. We'll sort these yabbies out. I'll probably keep about a half a dozen, I suppose, about this size. They're all roughly around the same size. There's a couple of smaller ones in there. And there's no really big giants in amongst them, but they're beautiful, clean bloody yabbies. Check that out. Absolutely lovely. So I picked out about a half a dozen out of that net. And what we'll do, we'll tip these. If they were all big monsters, I'd probably keep them all, but they're all fairly mediocre. And I don't want to lose my bait because I haven't got any more bait. I was just about to say, if that one's going to hold up in the side like that, he's going to go in the pot. So I know where a hot spot is now for next time, out on that little stick out there. What I'll do, we'll get these folded up and we'll paddle around to the other side and have a bit of a look around. So I've made my way right up to the other end of this swamp. There's a little narrow opening just up behind me there, and there's this big heap of bulrush or kabungi weed, I'm not too sure what you call it, and it opens right up into this other swamp area. The only problem is I've paddled all the way around this swamp area, and the deepest part seems to be along here, and this deepest part's about 1 foot deep. All up through the middle there, it's about 8 inches deep. But what we'll do, we'll just run a test here anyway, and I'll set both of these traps. We'll put one right here. I'm just beside this tree, it's got some overhanging branches, and as you can see, that was sitting on that's sitting up on a stick or something there. Yeah, that's better. The trap's only just under the water. I mean, the whole lot's under the water, so the opening's probably still a good 4 to 6 inches under the water. We'll set this one here, and I reckon we'll set them both in this general vicinity. I might even go out off in between all these sticks over here and see how we go. We'll throw the trap in the water there and have a look. The top of that trap's actually sticking out of the water just a little bit. So the opening's only a few inches out of the water, and this whole area is only 1 foot deep at the most. But anyway, we'll set them here, we'll give them half an hour, and we'll have a check after that. It's been about half an hour, and I'm just going to roll up on this first trap. Like I said, it's really shallow here. I'll come in here as stealthily as possible. They probably haven't had a really good soak long enough to really have a good gauge, but surely after half an hour, if the place is loaded, there's going to be some in here. Oh, it's not too bad. No monsters. Got 4. Considering it's only been half an hour and that bait is probably getting a little bit old, I'd consider that not too bad. No real monsters in amongst them. 4 little fellas, and all 4 are about that size. Like I said, not huge. They can all go back. I've got enough there for a feed now, so unless we get a couple of really prime yabbies, anything little like that I'll just let go straight up. Trap number 2 here, and he was even shallower. I can see the top of the trap there. I didn't want to go too close to it. We'll come over here and get this rope. I was a bit sketchy putting that rope near that hollow log too. I know how good you can see down there, but it looks like something's been coming and going in and out of there. I don't want to find out what. Oh my God, yes. Well, that's pretty bloody good. I wasn't expecting that many. I wouldn't have thought for the short half an hour, and it's probably really pushing only half an hour. It's probably like more like 25 minutes. And there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 yabbies in there, and a couple of pretty bloody decent ones too. I'm going to keep that one. There's probably 2 in there that I will keep. There's probably 4 or 5 out of that trap that are well and truly worth keeping. We'll get this fella into here as well. I'll shut the lid. And we'll get this lot back. There's 7 there that are going back, and I've kept 2. Nothing better than cooking over a few hot coals. We'll tip these yabbies out and see what we actually ended up with. Oh, there's a few more there than what I thought actually. 1, 2, 3. They're bloody quick yabbies, them lot. They come flying out of that bloody bucket. That fella there is probably the best one. We ended up with 19 in there. There was 20 and I've let one go. It was just a little bit too small. 19's enough for me. So we got all our yabbies. I've flushed them out a couple of times with that nice clean water. I wouldn't say it's nice clean water, it come out of the lake, but it's better than the water they're in. Got that skillet nice and hot now, sitting down on them hot coals. Throw our yabbies on, and it's nice and hot, so it won't take very long. Just keep flipping them over. As you can see, those tails are really starting to curl up now. That tells me they're just about done. Have a go at that for a feast. Absolutely beautiful. It's a feast for the eyes as much as a feast for the belly. I got one ready to go, and it's cooked absolutely perfectly. It's still moist, cooked. You can smell the fire in it. Oh, more importantly, you can taste the fire in it too. That smoky flavour. There was absolutely no other flavouring on that. They were just straight out of the water and onto the fire. No salt, no seasoning, anything. Anyway, we'll leave this one here. I might actually come back out here in a couple of weeks or whenever I get here, and we'll go through and we'll set 5 traps in that back area, I reckon. They're beautiful clean yabbies out here, so it's well worth doing, and a beautiful spot. We'll catch you on the next one.